Peace. Pray everybody is doing well. Welcome to Aboriginal Global Media. I am your host for tonight's conversation, the one and only Ghetto Scholar, and we are ready to have our conversation tonight. Tonight, our conversation is why and how organized lies defeats disorganized truth, the connection of modern technology to indigenous divination. And you can tune in. We are streaming live on YouTube at The Ghetto Scholar. That's DA Ghetto Scholar. We are streaming live on Instagram at godbody.og. We are on X, formerly known as Twitter, at godbodyog. And we are on Facebook at my full name, Amaru Namataga Shi Ali. Welcome to tonight's discussion. And we are going to do a quick commercial break and come back to you with all of the great details that we want to share tonight, a few announcements that we think are pertinent, and let's see if we can get all of our notes up and running. And then, we can come back and do what we are supposed to do. All right, so I'll just share this little intro with you guys so that we can come back. Permission psychology. I am an adherent that all of us come into the world and we're unique. And we show all of the signs that we are unique, down to our DNA, physical looks, our characteristics, our gifts, and our talents. And we also come into the world as sponges. And we are absorbing from the people around us, the environments, etc. Permission psychology has run rampant in our community because of social engineering. Sometimes we feel like we don't want to go too far. And my life has been a testament to breaking down those barriers. You don't have to ask permission to be who you are. You don't have to ask permission to problem solve in your community. You You don't have to ask permission to create the things that you need in order to survive, adapt, and have a good life. And I think that African Americans, Black Americans, and humans all over the planet are allowing structures, institutions, traditions, and a lot of other things to force them to ask permission in places they shouldn't be asking permission. And that mentality will not die until people have examples in their parents, in their family, that you don't have to ask permission. Life is a gift. We don't keep it forever. And while we have it, we need to break down the goddamn doors.
All right. We're ready. Are you ready? Tonight's discussion and the complete purpose is to get our folk to understand that they have a choice. That choice is that we can live better lifestyles. We can develop our purpose. We can find ways to work together more efficiently. And we can dig deep into our history and stop faking it in the sense of understanding what it was really about. And so our work in our tribal government is to get our folk to understand that reality. And in order to understand that reality, we are going to have to, I stress, have to learn to work together efficiently. I want to first share some announcements. And what I'm sharing now is the site plan produced by Sister Tylee Shiamaru for the YG Urban Farm and her business, Just Solely Eco Agro Enterprises, which is a business that we helped her develop as far as registration, and that she's been developing for years to improve our community's self-sufficiency with feeding ourselves and creating spaces for ourselves so that we can get together and map out all of the things that we need to do, from feeding ourselves to educating ourselves to keeping ourselves autonomous. And so what you are looking at, if any of you have never been, is the farm out on the west end. At the summit, we went out here, had our basketball games, done walkthrough on the farm, and the YG movement headed by Julius Khalid. I brought Sister Tylee to them to work with them on an agricultural project. This project is the beginning of something great, and it's tied directly into the subject matter that we have today on why organized lies defeats a disorganized truth, and why all of our ancient systems were actually technology. We are learning the childhood game side of it is technology. And I'm showing this out of the distinct desire, let's get this in and zoom in, for you to understand that it takes science to win. You can have your fake spirituality, and it is fake. You can have your braggadocious attitude about resynthesized perspectives of what the greatest of our ancestors did, because the perspective is not on point. And you want it to be on point. And the reason why you want it to be on point is because that's how you're going to win. So I'm sharing this so our people can understand the gravity of the mission. And you can hit up, I'll put in the chat on Instagram at YG Movement. And you can hit up at Talie's page, which I posted on a page today, so you can start talking to them, because you need this type of farm in your local area where people can come, it's protected, we can play sports, they can ride skateboards, we can have fire pits, we can have outside education, we can have all the farming stuff that we need to grow, tree houses, all of that can be a part of what you experience as a community. And you can hire Sister Ty Lee to come do a site plan and do the very same thing that the local jurisdiction is doing here. We are a unit, and our unit is an expression of what I want to talk about tonight, which is the real language of light. The real language of light is the unity of our people under the right awareness and action. The right awareness is, in this relative time, our indigenous capacity to govern ourselves as units, to build institutions that are autonomous so that we can be the controllers of our destiny. But in order to do that, we have to despook the world about our identity and despook ourselves from what we think is actually cool. What's actually cool is to unite self on purpose into family, into community, into institutions, into building. Hit the like button, hit the share button, get the folk up inside of this particular lecture. We're here to despook our people, to show them that what you're studying, in all of the ancient stuff that you're studying, you got astrology, you got Ifa, you got Kemetic science, you got voodoo, you got Palo, you got Southern hoodoo, you got metaphysics, you got astral travel, remote viewing. Y'all got everything except sense. And sense is what you need. Because without sense, it's not going to work. None of it is going to work. And what does sense mean here? Sense means you have people in your circle who can tell you the truth. But the problem is, organized lies will still defeat a disorganized truth. And let me define what disorganized truth actually is. What is disorganized truth? What is it? What is it? Disorganized truth is information with no direction. Disorganized truth is what you see all throughout our communities. Disorganized truth has no structural integrity. Disorganized truth is just nigga trying to look like he's smart. Neglect trying to look like she's smart. This the organized truth looks like the world under an organized lie. They're on TikTok. They're on Instagram. They're on X. They're on Facebook. They're on every streaming platform that you can think of. And they're exposing everything that's happening on the planet. The aliens are coming. The Anunnaki landed in DC. The comet is really a ship. The rapture is coming. Jimmy Kimmel is in the news. Charlie Kirk is in the news. Donald Trump is in the news. The Illuminati is falling. The C-19 got exposed. A bunch arguments over who is indigenous and who is not. A bunch of disorganized truth, aka information. Information can do nothing for you except give you a dopamine addiction. But if that dopamine is not turning into neuromelanin through accomplishment, through unified activity, it means nothing. So, organized lies are so powerful because they're organized. And the principle of organization is the principle of manifestation. Everybody about to manifest something. Everybody about to manifest something, right? That's what y'all about to do. Y'all about to manifest something. Well, let me put you on. You ain't about to manifest nothing without a jurisdiction. What a jurisdiction is a resonant frequency of agreement to materialize your reality as a group. The Federal Reserve has group resonance. The United States government has group resonance. An effective one, an effective group resonance. Russia has effective group resonance. The Navajo tribe, no matter how you look at them, they have effective group resonance. What do Black Americans have? A bunch of disorganized truth. Most of humanity has that because they're under the organized lie. The organized lie carries itself out through institutions and jurisdictions that get your permission, your participation, your energy, your attention in deception. You won't hear me mention nothing about Charlie Kirk. I'm tired of talking about those things. You won't hear me talking about Jimmy Kimmel. I'm tired of talking about those things. You will hear me talking about jurisdiction, institutions, and methodology in order for the disorganized truth to become the organized truth. And what happens when you move from disorganized truth, aka useless information, to organized truth? When you move to organized truth, as indigenous people, you learn the language of light. You learn that Ifa is checkers. That's what you learn. But you learn that smart TVs are chess, because smart TVs are built on the principal knowledge of what you think your divination in Ifa is, what you think your Sufi magic is, what you think your metaphysical, etaphysical lifestyle is, your juju. The world around you is not what you think it is. And I'm going to prove that. I'm going to prove that you went to college, you paid money, you went to high school, you went to elementary school, you went somewhere, and you haven't learned anything. But you're around here using iPhones, turning on and off light switches, using keyboards, using Mac computers, smart TVs, home security systems, remote control. Somebody organized a technology based on light right around you from your ancestry. And they did it in let's give you a time scale. They did it in 200 years. You could do it way faster. Because you have a gift that's connected to light, but you shut it down out of stupidity and ignorance. Stupidity because you unaware, ignorance because you kind of get an awareness, but you still believe in the organized lie. And it's testable because that's what you always refer back to. You don't refer to autonomy, group work, you refer back to the lie. And so let's delve into a conversation so that we can help you understand what you should be understanding. And now let's go back to this book, because I wrote this book right here a while ago. But I want you to know that this book will help you understand my angle tonight. This book is a book that I wrote about divination. Of course, you can see. All right. The history and origin of cartomancy and tarot divination in ancient America. All right. And then it's a course guide in prophetic science and ritual offense and defense. And so what people learn when they come in this class is there's a system that was developed in America. And that system became the basis of all Eastern magic. The crown systems of Eastern magic. But Eastern magic figured out something. Magic is spooky because they looked at us and they say, y'all got pyramids, y'all got free energy devices, y'all got whole apothecaries, medical systems, defense systems. The Moors had missiles. You didn't know that? You didn't know the Moors had torpedoes? You didn't know the Moors had robots? You didn't know the Moors had AI? You say, brother, you're lying. There's no way these things are true. They're absolutely true. You had a high technical world that collapsed. And they're going to learn the lesson that you learned about technology. Because there's a fine line between technology and the destruction of civilization. And it's all in the science. But the science is guided by the laws of nature. The laws of nature are your constitution that if you are willing to engage them, assess them properly, and even test them, you will learn how to live without having to collapse. The world around you is not spooky. I'm talking to you right now because of technology. And if your children do not get engaged in trade, agriculture, and science in a way that is healthy, your community is done. It is finished. And so we have to talk about this because we're talking about Moors, we're talking about Yoruba, Ifa, we're talking about Egyptians, we're talking about the ancient indigenous people, the Mayans and the Olmecs and the Shi, and we're talking about everything. Atlantis, Lemuria. And you ever ask yourself a question? How do those people actually live on a day-to-day basis? Well, I'm about to delve into some very basic things, but they're going to get complex as we go. And I want you to keep up with me because the principle of the night is organized lies is defeating disorganized truth, because truth that is disorganized is only useless information. Organized lies is a manifestation system that's rooted in deception, but it's still organized. And so the principle in nature is organization trumps disorganization. That's it. If you can overcome entropy, entropy is still a law. You need it. It's a requirement. But these people have developed systems off of your systems, and you need to understand what they're doing. And the way that I'm going to teach it is very simple. How many people here can tell me, because now we're talking divination in history, why we have 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour? Throw it in the chat. You want to know why? Excuse me. They're going to say the ancient Babylonians, they developed a base 60 system. And then, first of all, there were no ancient Babylonians. Babylon was a city or a small territory in Egypt. Yeah, they confused world geography. And they said Babylonians had the 7-day week because of the 7 planets that was visible. But you go into the actual glyphs and they got all the planets, not just 7. Somebody lying. And if they made the week, the Egyptians made 24-hour day too. Yes, they did. That's absolutely true. They didn't design it though. You can go to the Temple of Senmut, Senmut. That's where I first learned it at. And you can see the day divided into 24 spaces, and you're like, oh, okay. I'm starting to understand. But how do you decide what space of time to make a division that you call a second? They had sundials, they had water clocks. This is Egypt. But the week is still 7 days. Who made the 7-day week? Y'all can come on now. We about to go somewhere with this. You don't. So we are experiencing time right now. because I am at 9:04. If you're in Africa watching me, you at a different time zone. And if we didn't have coordinated time in the technology, you wouldn't be able to see me. You wouldn't even be able to travel from Africa to America without understanding time, astronomy, and other scientific factors. The week was made that we have right now in not y'all better stop playing with me. 6 days. It's the Bible, bro. God made the week. That's what y'all about to lose. Don't lose like that. Get this book right here. Don't lose. Don't even play with me. Don't even play with me. That's another part of the discussion. The week that we use, Sunday and Monday, that's just the sun and moon. Where Tuesday come from? Where Wednesday come from? Where Thursday come from? Where Frig's Day? Thor's Day. That's Norse. Wait a minute. Norse? Norse? The Vikings? The Vikings gave us the 7-day week. So now when I go back to my book and I show you white people in the Yucatan that were brought by black Vikings, Norse, you know what Thor really means. Thor got that hammer. Thor was not white, but we're talking about time now and technology. And so they're on those ships leaving Europe, a Europe controlled by so-called black people, coming all the way to the Yucatan. They had to know astronomy. They had to know longitude and latitude. They had to have interaction with the people. They sold pale slaves. We showed that in the book. I'll open it up and show you. Yeah, Wednesday is Odin. This is the 7-day week. The atomic clock was not created till 1967. So people were using the base 60 system, but I need you to understand something way deeper. The 7-day week comes from here. This book teaches you divination in 7 days. The 7-day divination period comes from here, from America. In 1536, Bishop de Landa came to the Yucatan and learned the entire divination system. The week comes from the she divination system. And so now we look at the day and the hour and the base 60 system, and we need to ask ourselves a question. 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour. Why 60? I'm going to tell you something very, very, very important. Do you know the fact that you have lights on in your house is based on the base 60 system? I'm going to say that again. There would be no lights on Earth without a base 60 system. Electrons oscillate at 60 hertz or 60 cycles inside of a second in order for you to be able to turn on the light switch. 60 parts of a second is what led to 60 seconds, is what led to 60 minutes, is what led to 24 hours or sections, is what led to now we got a day. How we want to divide it? We'll divide it into 7. Because 7 goes into the cycle of the earth 52 times with 1 day left. No problem. Without going over all the academic history, whoever developed the time system also understood electricity, also had to have technology to make electricity. But electricity is supposed to be a new invention in the sense of using it in houses and other places. Yet you can look physically at epigraphy in Egypt and here and see light, not lanterns. That came after the cataclysms and we lost the tech. And that was recent. My point to you is science is all around you. I'm going to give you examples of this, and I'm going to show you that what you're calling ancient divination is actually ancient tech. And when white folks figured it out, they made the internet, they made smart TVs, they made keyboards that can communicate. And it's all based on electricity, magnetism, and light. All of it. It is the language of light. Technology today is based on the language of light, and it's only going to increase. You need scientists, you need agriculturalists, you need people in trade who can build things. And you need people who can do HVAC. You need engineers. And there's nothing wrong with the rest of society. We're always going to have the best entertainment, the best athletes, the best actors. But there's this thing called artificial intelligence now that's going to test you and push you, because artificial intelligence is leaving an old system and creating a new system. The old system is binary. The new system is quantum. What's the difference? The difference is a computer can think. That's the difference. It's no longer based on what you think is binary, 0 and 1s. It's based on the fact that you can have a computer make the 0 place itself in a superposition. All these jargon words. Do you know what that actually means? It means you could be both at once. I'm gonna compute that to you. I'm here in one of my offices in the house. I'm not with you physically, but you're watching me, and you don't understand that this is superposition. Superposition is not something that's about to come. Superposition is already here. I'm here in your living room, and I'm here in my office. I'm there in your office, and I'm here in my office at the same damn time. And you're trying to figure out what telepathy is, what quantum entanglement is, and we're doing it. We're just doing it at like a lower rate. And so what I'm about to show you is about to blow your mind. Like, y'all think that these people are over here playing. They're using your stuff to build their world. And you're looking at your stuff like it's a checkers game. Like, how you talking about metaphysics and you can't build a TV? So let's go into this because I ain't gonna waste your time tonight. I haven't eaten today. I want food. I want snacks. I want coconut water. I just worked out. I'm hungry. And I'm about to unravel a science class for you so you can understand that the world is not spooky. The world that's the organized lie, oh no, it's not spooky at all. If anything, the people are spooky. If anything, the people are spooky. And so let's go into this because I don't want you to miss nothing. Hit the like button. What you're about to get is a communication that settles your brain on how spooky spirituality is to you. How spooky divination is to most people. And what the principles of the science are really supposed to do. They're supposed to teach you something about nature, the language of light, the language of the world, the laws of nature, so that you can use them to build something. But if you're going to build on the old curriculum, you're going to make big mistakes. And that's what's happening. Y'all, people want to build, they want to build an old dusty school in Wilmington, Delaware for a crackhead, the cocaine pharaoh. They believe that somebody that is selling you something, supplements, can walk up to you with a big bald spot in their head, and they're in their 30s maybe, and they're selling you something for your health. They can create a whole real estate fund, get $6 million, and do nothing with it. You've been scammed because you don't know how to think. I want to help you think better. I want to help you think better. You need to think better. Maxwell Chikambusu, we don't even need to have a discussion. He's not intelligent, because if he was intelligent, he would be dealing with jurisdiction and methods to deliver his system. I'm not dissing nobody, but Moses West has a machine that makes water, and now he didn't let the white people make the machine. They got it now. They're selling it. And it's not even that technically hard. It's a reverse air conditioner. Your air conditioner does the same thing that Moses West machine does. But instead of coming up with a system to deliver it, he sat back and let a team of people try to coerce him into playing bougie with architectural science. I mean, with technical science, invention. And now they're I put it on my page. You can go buy a small one for $700. These people are playing because they're not intelligent. Intelligence comes with strategy too, and comes with the knowledge that you have to continue the strategy to continue the assessments. But let's keep going. We got to have a conversation. The language of light. I really want to get this down to you. What are you looking at right here? What you're looking at is what I was talking about. You think that when you turn on a light switch, energy is moving through a wire to get to a light. I recommend you go to the physics page. What's my guy's name? He's a white boy. Smart though. Veritasium. I think that's the name. If not, I'll tag the video where I pull this image from so you can understand something. Because this is how your body works and people don't understand this. The first thing that we're going to learn in the new science is that the physical world is not primary, it's secondary. Order of operations in mathematics. The physical world is not primary, it's secondary. And math teaches you this. We're looking at it and no one's teaching the children. All math in qualitative and quantitative science starts out with a zero. Does it not? Materialization is secondary. The zero is a world. Quantitatively, you say it's nothing. Qualitatively, it's everything. It's the start. You can't get numbers. You can't get numbers. By the time you count in value, you're counting created things. And so mathematics has qualitative and quantitative. This is a new discussion that we're bringing. Who invented the zero? Put it in the chat. Because I'm about to teach you from this diagram, and then we're going to move on into very practical discussion. Who invented the zero? I dare you to say East Indians. Put it in the chat. The zero was invented by the Olmecs, aka the She. Whoever invented the zero knows everything that I'm telling you. You cannot make math is to describe geometry. Math is geometry because it's a study of physical creation. What is calculus? Calculus describes what? Motion, transformations. The zero was created by your ancestors. It's because they understood light. What else did they invent? The first compass was invented by who? The Olmecs, the She. And what does the compass do? The compass reads light. It tells you where the light field has its concentration points at the north and south pole. So your ancestors invented the zero and the compass. And the diagram you're looking at shows you that zero, or light, creates the light bulb coming on. Because nothing is traveling through the wires. Nothing is traveling through wires. The electrons are only oscillating at 60 hertz. That's how you get alternating current. Alternating current that lights everybody's house up is a base system of the second. 60 oscillations in a second. That's why we have a second. That's why we have an hour. What is time? What's time? I'm going to give you a working definition for time. Time. The perceived effects of the actions of a communication network. The perceived effects of the actions of a communication network. You perceiving effects. in a communication network. How do you waste time? When you misperceive the effects in a communication network. And so now you are constantly receiving and sending confused communications. You're fucking up the time. And so all we're saying is any real scientist, and I got this from Veritasium, you go to this page, this diagram, can tell you that the light bulb that's right here is being lit by the spatial electromagnetic energy that is entering it, not from the wire, literally through the bulb, through the fields. The fields are turning the light on. You just have to have a closed circuit or an open circuit. The closed and open circuit does what? Creates a perturbation in electrons. They're going back and forth. They're shaking. They're dancing. What does the dancing do? It establishes a communication network with light. And now light is looking for the resonator, tungsten, or whatever is in the filament. And what is the light doing? It's heating it. It's not a light bulb. It's a heat bulb. It's a heat bulb that's glowing radiance. That's not light. The light on this screen is the red and the blue lines at right angles to each other. And the light is all around you. It's the zero. What is zero? Quantitatively, the zero is nothing. Quantitatively, you're looking around for light. You can't see light. You think you can see light because you're looking around, you see colors. We're about to get into that. You don't. What you see is what? Perturbations. As a result of what? Open and closed circuits all around you. In fact, that's what you are. You are open and closed circuit. Don't methylation happen in DNA in on and off switches? On and off switches give you your whole ability to make an eyeball, hair, skin. You have all the same DNA. It's all the same information. It's all the same circuitry. You put carbon and 3 hydrogens together and put them on nucleotides like a piano, having the black keys in, the white keys are the DNA, the black keys are the methylation. And you can make everything in creation. That's biology. A plant made of the same atoms, same cell structure. So variance in biology is based on and off switches called methylation. This is important because now I'm about to teach you something. Let's go ahead on and do it then. See, you think binary means zeros and ones. It doesn't. That's the symbols that are being used. It's on and off switches. So let me break it down to you. What are you looking at? You're looking at binary codes in quadration. So you can create 16 with a base 4 system. Doesn't this look familiar to people? You have 16 phases here, starting with the 0. Let me show you something. I got to show you. In E5, The 16 primary Odu of Ifa give you what? 256 Odu. You see the ones and the twos on and off. So what you're using Ifa for right now is a game invented for children when they're young, so they can start to learn the science of electromagnetism in order to later use it in a society. You ain't going nowhere in Nigeria where they really understand what this is. They don't know. Y'all doing little readings in your Babalawo out there telling you all kind of crazy stuff. It is not advancing you for autonomy because it is a child's game. Children are supposed to learn these little games so that when they grow up, they become builders. A woman who makes clothes, who understands this, will understand the frequency of clothing. But y'all got polyester sheets and polyester clothes. And it's literally taken away from the electricity and magnetism of your body. It is draining you. This is not divination. Divination is a child's preparation to go into adulthood to learn science, but a more advanced science. But let me show you how practical it is, because let's go back. What you are looking at when you see zeros and ones are transistors. This is what you're looking at. Charged and discharged transistors. Now, they're not this big anymore. Transistors are the size of atoms today. This is how they're able to pack all this information into servers. So I'm going to make this clear to you. It's not zeros and ones. It is electrical signaling on and electrical signaling off. I don't care if you're using a keyboard. Your whole keyboard is different variations of electrical units. Let's get this down pat, because I'm about to teach you something. This is what this is. Charge and discharge electrical magnetic energy. And it comes in 256 combinations. Isn't that how many Odu you have? Why do you have those 8 light bulbs up there? Let me break it down to you. You ever seen the ASCII table? The ASCII table is the symbols that you're using on the computer. You type and, you type parentheses, you type numbers, you type all kind of stuff. This is what it really is. Ons and off, electrical discharge, electrical circuit on, electrical circuit off. This is coding. But this is classical physics coding. Quantum coding is using light. And this is where we are today, but I'm giving you the old system. Look at this. If you want to type the number 65, you want the letter A on a keyboard. If you go to your ASCII table, you at the 65th icon of 256 icons. And this is the electrical state that you are typing with the letter A. So they have assigned electrical states to the symbols. Let me break this down. You are a symbol. Remember the discussion. The material world is secondary. The unseen world is primary. It's not that it's not real. It's just your eyes aren't detecting it. But when you type the letter A, if I type the letter Ali, that's three bits or 8 series on-off switches of electricity. Somebody programmed electricity into form. How did they do that? They did that by understanding the language of light. The people around you. See, you talk about white people, you call them Neanderthals, you say all this stuff, but they out here using your language, the letter Z. This is just simple stuff that you use every day. When you're texting, this is what you're doing. You're discharging electricity. Discharging and charging in phases of 8. Don't we teach you the 4 qualities and the 4 opposites? What do you think this actually is? Don't you learn that you have 8 ancestors? The Pasegit, the Ogdiad, the Ennead. The Moors had it. What do they call it? Al-Thamaniya al-Anam. The 8 forces. This is old Moorish technology. I swear to you. You say the Fatiha all the time. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Idina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladina al-amta alayhim. Al-Anam. Al-Anam is the powers. They come in 8. Thamaniya. This is nature. They are coding a world, a synthetic world, a cyber world, using the natural world in its phase transitions of electricity. Why is this important? Because when we point this stuff out, the 8-bit color system, this is how you're seeing pictures. This is how you're seeing this video. Well, this video is actually a little bit more advanced. You got another system that's used, 24-bit. But the 8-bit system is what allows for you to send photos and text messages and videos. And it's all electricity. It's the language of light. So now when we're talking about the light field, we're not being spooky. We're talking about how we use intelligence to build. That's all we're talking about. I don't want to spook you out. These are the 256 varying colors that can be used. Going back, and this is what we use today. They upgraded it from the 8-bit system to the 24-bit true color system. And the 24-bit true color system takes red, green, and blue, which all have 256 colors, and blends them into 16.7 million colors. This is why you can sit down and watch a movie on Netflix. This is why you're seeing me now. And they created what? Modems, stations with silica, gold, silver, all the noble metals. So this stuff can be resonance communicated. Your children need to be going to school to learn this because they're about to do something different. The TV screen that you're watching is using 16.7 million different color variations, pixels, which are also memory, to bring you that movie in basically 2D. in the 3D or 4D world, or whatever word y'all want to say, we literally are on a screen. And there are 4.6 septillion colors. Divination is, since or if we learn that, how do we embrace that into technology? How do we use that to create a free energy device to power our homes? Nikola Tesla had an instrument he can carry in his hand that caused an earthquake in New York. This stuff is not what you think it is. It's a system. You want to grow your food larger and faster? Didn't I show y'all way back in 2021 and 22 a system to make the vegetation grow larger? We've been using this. So my point to you is, instead of praying to Orisha or Neteru or Lio or whatever you're doing, ancestors, all this stuff that y'all doing, why don't you take your ass to school and learn something about the language of light, which is all around you. You're using it now. You're using it. So when you see this, you need to understand how behind we are as a people. We're actually being real stupid because we don't even know what to wear. We don't even know what to wear. Somebody right now got polyester on, polyester sheets. Shit, it might be polyester somewhere in my house still. I might not throw all of it away. And it's operating at 15 megahertz. The healthy human body is at 75 to 100 megahertz. And you got the stuff that's draining you because our homes are not governed by science. And then they make you hate cotton because you allegedly picked it, not knowing that you developed cotton here. It's all over the codexes. And if you wear cotton, it's going to stabilize your energy. Hell, this Jewish scientist right here did a study on linen and found out that it had a 5,000 megahertz frequency, meaning if you lay on it, you're going to feel energized. If you wearing it, you're going to feel energized. So we could put on clothes and think that she just got a bad spirit because my energy, she draining my energy. Nigga, it's your shirt. Do you know how many women are wearing polyester panties, bro? Thinking they walking around and they got the yoni verse and their yoni is good. Your yoni is getting drained for 16 hours until you change your drained ass rayon polyester silk drawers. Oh, I got silk pajamas. Are you kidding me? And so I posted this today because I wanted people to understand science is going to spank your ass, or you're going to engage it as a tool of your mind and do brilliant things. It took 60 years for scientists to study protein folding, which is the geometric structure of you, plants, what you eat, etc. And they only, in 60 years, they got 150,000. In literally a few months, an AI developed a technique and identify over 200 million protein folds. And it did it through the language of light. What I'm telling you is our jurisdiction is about to gradually do great things. We had to start off right, though. You want to do stuff the old way, it's not going to work. Look at what Alpha, look at what they did. This was easy. You got amino acids, let's say C and G as a mutation. They figured out by mapping this out what was next to each other, what was distant from each other, how the distance was, and gave you a physical model. They literally used addition, subtraction, and geometry. Then, because you have positive or masculine and feminine amino acids, they knew which ones should go together and which ones would repel. So arginine helps you build muscle. It's masculine. Going back to the language of light. This is what AlphaFold used to do what it did. But what we're here to say to you is all online tarot readings, astrology readings. It's crazy. If you did that for another 20 years, how would that improve your community? The tarot readings, the astrology readings. How is that really improving your life? You need other gears. You need other gears. And so what are those gears? And that's what we're about to get into. All right. What are those gears? Those gears are organization. What does organization look like? Organization looks like you're not single. Because being single after a certain age is a sign that you are participating in disorganization. That's not pro nature. And then it affects your outcomes. We talk about single mothers all the time. We don't talk about single mothers as an assessment of a formula. We talk about it as a social ill that maybe brings about bad things. Imagine if you taught that a single mother or a single father equals accelerated entropy, loss of energy in a system. Now, you know why she's tied to the state. She's a mutation. You know why he's tied to the state. He's a mutation. Organization. Family. Organization. You working out. You moving your body. Organization. Good nutrition. Organization. Are you a part of a community? You got married on an island with no people around you to support and uplift the marriage when there is a heavy perturbation? What I'm saying is your social world should be designed based on science. That is your success. That adds another level of inspiration, because if people knew that nature would not resonate with them in their foolishness, they would see divinity, destiny, and their actions through a higher awareness and possibly inspire them to make better choices. The problem is they think that opinion is a healthy thing. And I'm here to tell you, perspective is healthy, but opinion is not. Opinion is mutation and disease. It is philosophy. It is ideology, and it is killing humanity. It is destroying humanity. Facts ain't feelings, and feelings ain't facts. And facts are a step. That's information. That's some level of awareness to take you into laws. And so go back to the formula. Because y'all be in here, coon, fire, coon. Being it is. But you didn't start with zero. You're the zero. You think that your physical body is primary. Your formula is off. You're always going to fail. But it does not disassociate your physical body. That's why you're here. You're here to be physical. And so when we think about what the Black community does on a regular basis, podcasts, a lot of podcasting going on. Podcasting is communication. What type of communication is it? What are they talking about? They're talking about anything that will make them go viral. And you know what viral is? To spread in a disorganized fashion. It's the definition of stupid. You want to spread with no natural organization principles around you. That's what viruses do. They go and they break symmetry in the body. And so, message to people in the tribe. All I'm saying to you is, you have learned a set of formulas. All you got to do is live by them in life and keep assessing them, experimenting with them, and getting results. The lines are already drawn. Many of your people are not going to agree with you or want to organize with you, and you have to come to the conclusion that that's okay. Continue to do your business. But all we're saying is life is laws. And to disrupt those is to distort time and to shorten your lifespan. Invoking the law of accident, which is a law. You got cancer? You had to breach some laws and implement another law of possibility to get there. And if you are going to go get an MRI to figure that out, you are going to disturb every water molecule in your body. Do you know how our MRI works? We giving you bioscans, which are causing you no disturbance. You want to go get an MRI. In order to get an MRI, you have to disturb every water molecule in your body. X-rays. You want to use a synthetic light to look at your body when you are light, but you're cutting yourself off from your real self. Imagine if all math cut itself off from infinity and zero, because infinity and zero are the same thing. If you cut yourself off from infinity and zero, technically, you have no basis for doing more math. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying to y'all. So now what I'm saying to my people is, what happened last week on the Breakfast Club don't mean sugar honey iced tea. It's cute and we like comedy. So if you're watching it to laugh, increase your dopamine, oxytocin, and all the other things that go on when you laugh. But if you're taking a conversation with Charlemagne and Dame Dash serious, you have a problem. Like if you actually take it, even if you discuss it, that's fine. There's no problem. I watch football sometimes. I watch boxing. I train some boxers. I got to get back into the gym. I've been out for a while. That's my business, but in the field of nutrition and training. So that's why I engage boxing. And then I enjoy the entertainment too. Take your purpose with you wherever you go. Never leave your purpose. And you don't got to be stoic, or except at the right times. But nigga, you don't even know your purpose? You don't even know what it is to be a man and a woman by nature. Organized lies destroys disorganized truth. So they can make a whole OBGYN world. They can make a whole pap smear world. They can make a whole tampon, maxi pad, yeast infection medicine, bacterial vaginosis medicine, hormonal therapy, therapy for PCOS, fibroids, all because you don't understand a pussy. You got one and you don't even know what it is. It's women out here that think they got good punani. And don't even know what cervical microbiome is. Crazy as hell. Wondering why nobody likes you. You can't chelate to nobody. Then you walking around putting perfume in it, around it. The reason why he don't know that it stank is because his pheromone detection level is not adequate. He can't even tell you that you're off vibe. So imagine being with someone dumber than you. What y'all about to make? That's the lowest level of organization. Not lowest, but core level is how men and women are relating so that they can make something and build something in the world around them. Y'all don't even know how to build sweet punani. You sticking rosemary and frankincense and all kind of shit in your, because you're in the goddess mode now. Oh, I use natural oils and juices and berries on my yoni. It still stank. You stank. It's true. You do. And you got the whole dude, he over there here with erectile dysfunction. Premature ejaculation. He got to take a perk 60 just to numb up so he can hit it. Imagine that. You getting hit with a drug stick. Nigga is secreting E&J brandy into you. He's drunk and he in yo yoni. This is the world that you live in. A bunch of stank punani, drug sticks, mixing up a recipe to make children. Y'all niggas done. As beings, look, there are whole beings coming out of that. And y'all mad at Margaret Sanger. Oh, Margaret Sanger, she was playing Parenthood and blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, you making a serial killer. Organized lies are stronger than disorganized truth. Well, bruh, we just trying to make it. That's the same thing the zebra said to the lion pride. We just trying to make it. Are you going to make it, though? Nigga, you might not make it. You might not make it. And you over here, you're a light being. You're in your inner peace. You've grounded yourself. You've centered yourself in yin and yang. And never shut up. What are you talking about? You ain't in nothing. Anything can throw you off of your grounded self. Anything. You over here reading the 48 laws of power. I'll take you out with one law and leave you 47 steps behind. This is the world that we live in. The organization is based on scamming and manipulation. And then you got pieces of the truth. How that truth becomes whole is you get in a circle of people with integrity. And I trust me, I know. I suggest you stay by yourself. Most people like being by themselves because niggas ain't sure. And I salute you. Stay by yourself until you find some people with some goddamn sense that you can link with and do business, cultural activity, communal activity. It's a lot of weird people out here, bro. You think you're going to do something? I'm going to donate to the school of RBG, Marcus Garvey Academy. Turns out it's a cocaine pharaoh running the operation. He done smoked up all the money. They getting you with what? Remember the light field. The binary is electrical discharge. But you see on the keyboard a P, a O, a A. You don't see the frequency. But the frequency is there. You got to get a system that shows you the backdrop. So when somebody come waving a red, black, and green flag, it should automatically sit inside of your head now that you have all this information about your genealogy, your ancestry, etc. This person is off. Even if they're good for nothing. They're going to drag me into a whole world that is built on an organized lie, which means they are the disorganized truth. They're waving the wrong frequency. RBG. When people are off resonating truth that resonates with reality, history, heritage, and nature, they're telling you they need to fine-tune their instrument. And there's dangers around them, even if they're good. Because the good is going to be good for nothing if you are not resonating properly. what we're saying to you is stop it, slow down, pause, hit the brakes. You have to make decisions in your life that are going to accumulate to developmental purpose and success. The technologies that we want to build for the future off of what we see here, shit, we know we can use AI to do amazing things. Stop being spooky. AI in 3 months just mapped out 200 million proteins. Do you know what that does for corporations that want to use that information? This is not about your feelings and your beliefs and your intuitions. This is about what value on the basic level can you bring. The first value that you bring is you bring your integrous self to other people. Because the highest frequency in the universe in social interaction is trust. Nobody wants to mess with somebody who they can't trust. And the gift of gab is deadly out here in these streets. But you have to turn on something that you have that's ancient, modern, and futuristic. It is discernment. Discernment comes with a code. Learn the 3 laws of the universe. The law of possibility and the law of cause and effect. The law of light and the law of masculine and feminine. Scale it. Don't come talk to me about effects. Let's talk about the cause. Let's problem solve. We can discuss the problem in order to get to the solution. What's the solution? Well, I'm just venting. You know you can talk to AI, right? ChatGPT has a voice mode. Don't nobody want you releasing all your junk on them all the time. Yes, we have emotional intelligence and empathy for those who deserve it. Y'all be entertaining too much dysfunction. And some of y'all are bringing people too much dysfunction. Nobody wants to be around people like that. Be resolute in yourself so that when you get with other people, you're an asset and not a liability. That's technology. Everything around you is speaking science, the language of science. And here we are over here, ignorant with children. Where are you going to send your children to? You going to send your child to college to get a degree in business administration? In 10 years, no colleges will have business administration as degrees. They won't even be degrees. Why? AI. Sorry. The service industry is getting cut. You need people who are aware of what's going on. And too many of you are not in those spaces. When BlackRock came to his conference a few months ago or earlier this year and talked about what they were about to do in Texas and the design for their business model, they were saying they need 500,000 construction workers, engineers. They didn't say they need 5,000 secretaries. Women, the light field is talking to you. You wanted to go outside of your home to assist other people to build. Now they replaced you with a cyber entity. You should have been home with your husband and your children building up your family economy. Now you're getting fired and you're single and depressed. And you can't go back to an industry that is disappearing. And the skill sets that you got in school, oh, we're the most educated. No, you're not. You're not the most educated. Are you dumb? You're the most indoctrinated. Oh, why do you have to talk to us like that? Because somebody need to talk to you like this to get your head in the right place. You about to be in the food line with vaccinated meat and fruits and vegetables. You want to know why I showed you the YG Urban Community Farm and why I'm saying that the sister's business can help the whole nation? If she can come and make us an apiary where we learn how to deal with bees, our bees won't be vaccinated. Because there are vaccinated bees that are pollinating. You see, you have to have the internal to want to thrive. And when I see that level low in people, I already know what type of lifestyle you live. You're living a defeatist lifestyle. You're doing things that are not enhancing the drive in you, the purpose in you. And so now you're going to be a scammer. Now you're going to be a parasite. Now you're going to be a pathogen. Now you're only going to be a consumer. And we all consume, but we should be exchanging in those spaces. And so let me pull up my closing notes because I ain't going to stay here. I want to get off of this phone. I've been on phones and talking to people and helping people all day. Let me close with this. There we go. Your future requires that you get rid of disorganized truth. Disorganized truth is useless information that you use as a prop value to make yourself feel authentic when you're fake. You got to ask yourself why humans do what they do. And it's very plain. Some people do what they do intentionally for purpose building, and other people do what they do so that they could hide and mask their low self-esteem and low value of themselves. That's it. There is no in between. If it is an in between, it's scaling going towards one and towards the other. And so all of the fake Nation of Gods and Earth, Nation of Islam, Warrior Science Temple of America, Pan-African, Egyptian, Netaru, Orisha, Voodoo, Southern Hoodoo bullshit that y'all been on ain't gonna mean sugar, honey, iced tea in a matter of 60 hertz. I'm watching my atomic clock click on my wrist, and it's saying your time is up. Like, it's like the music world. Like, sometimes, I mean, I got a lot of music that I listen to that I love, right? But there's certain stuff that you turn on now. Like, ain't nobody turning on no. I ain't even gonna diss nobody like that because, you know, I encounter a lot of people, but ain't nobody listening to certain things. It's dead. So ain't nobody here trying to go get initiated into E5 in 2025 Especially if they're hearing this. What you gonna go do that for? What's the utility? You teaching classes on metaphysics. You teaching classes on tarot in 2025 with all of this information out and truth and knowledge out. That's what you're doing? What I'm trying to say is if you don't get into developing your purpose, you're about to become real useless. And to become useless in this moment in time and space is dangerous. One of the reasons why women get human trafficked so much is because they're vulnerable and they don't know that there are people out here who track vulnerable people, especially women, so they can human traffic them. You walking home from your job that you've been on for 13 years to the same car in the same parking lot at night. And you think nobody is going to watch you when the world has a whole network of human trafficking operations. Somebody walk up behind you, put something over your mouth. Next thing you know, you in a van and you lunch meat. Utility. Get in a different frequency. If you're at home with your husband and your family, you ain't got to worry about that. You're not about to be set up the algorithm for you to get trafficked. You moving through spaces with no protection, thinking you good because you threw some bones of cowrie shells. Brother, you out in the street. You chasing an IG model. She got all kinds of diseases. And she about to, you a lick. This is the world that people are in. Or you online and you found the conscious baddie and she got jewels and stones and all kind of shit. Oh, she conscious. Meanwhile, she's schizophrenic. What I'm saying is you can't make healthy decisions until you have a healthy mind. And having a healthy mind is a measurable thing. The outcomes are there. We're here to move in different spaces. Hit the like button. I don't even have all of my equipment on tonight to make noise like I want to make it. But I'm telling you, organized lies is way more powerful than disorganized truth. And your community is full of disorganized truth. Look at what happens on my posts. Y'all see these folk coming on my posts? Where are they coming from? As soon as they see us talking about the truth, you see what happens, right? I posted one post about indigenous tradition using the AI. That shit has 4,000 comments. Like, why do you think they hate us so much? Innately, they know if you wake up, their whole world goes down. And they have built a whole organized lie on the fact that we don't know our facts. So now that we're waking up, you got people online telling you that, oh, you're using lookership. Oh no, turn off all your senses when you deal with this. Just because these people painted themselves with dreadlocks and dark skin don't mean they had dreadlocks and dark skin. Like they're crazy. They looking at us like they act like we about to take their BIA lunch. They BIA lunch meat or something. Like, nigga, we don't want your BIA lunch meat. Like, y'all out here tripping. Then they got all kind of questions about the culture. I always use one on them. Cornbread is the oldest bread in the world. Oh, one of them. Cornbread. Go get me a Southern grandma or great grandma to make cornbread, and go get me a Native American to make cornbread. Who cornbread gonna taste good? Matter of fact, who taught grandma how to make cornbread? How long we been making cornbread? Oh, cornbread go back to slavery. Right. Thank you. Thank you. You answered the question. You answered the question. They call it maize. They said maize was everywhere. Corn was everywhere. You go to the islands, what do they have? Corn fritters, corn porridge. Stop playing with us, bro. Like, what is y'all doing? How is y'all eating cacao, which is the #1 stem cell producer on the planet that's going to give you dense bones and dense muscle, and y'all got weak, fragile, frail bodies? The people who've been eating cacao for 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 years, they're going to come out muscular, cut up, dark skin. What is y'all talking about, bruh? These people are shook in their boots. Go to my Facebook page and you'll see them. I could not be talking about that. I posted something about the farm. They say I'm deceiving people. Because I posted about a farm? You're deceiving people. You're a grifter. No, that farm is the actual place. You can go to it. They're delusional. But what I'm trying to tell you is, as soon as we start becoming ourselves, we got jurisdiction, we got unity, we got people with a purpose and specialization who do things that could be used all throughout the nation, not just for our people, for everybody. What Tylee is doing can go everywhere. She's going to be a multimillionaire before it's all over with. Like, what does that have to do with your feeling and fear that we are the real engines? You mad we the real engines? Be mad. All I'm saying is, people, recognize the time that you are in and change your ways. This is a warning. Stop following the internet. Get on the internet and build you some economy. Get you some skill sets in groups so that you can become resourceful people. Stop following every alphabet gang that's out here that's taking you away from your light, because you are experimenting with things that are depleting your ability to develop yourself on a course that is commensurate with what you need for this time period, bro. You got to focus and concentrate. You cannot allow this stuff to defeat you. You're better than that. As a people, we're better than that. We just got to get our knowledge up, and that's what we're here to do. That's why we are revamping our whole system, so that we can make sure as we move forward in where information is going to be shared faster, that our communications are clear. What are we here to do? It's clear. And so I'm done for the night. I don't got nothing else to say except for the fact that technology and divination is all around you. Y'all, I'm in two places at one time right now. 3 places, 4 places. How many people watching me right now? Is over 100? I'm in 101 places at one time. And y'all talking about, oh, y'all read that article about quantum entanglement? Yeah, the scientists almost did quantum entanglement. Nigga, what is quantum entanglement? It's when information is in 2 places at one time. But you know how it works is the atom over here is communicating with the atom over here instantaneously. Meanwhile, it's 101 people right here. I'm looking at myself. I am myself. You're looking at me. Y'all see how the game is played? They're making you think something is coming that's already here. But you can improve this, though. You can improve upon this. This tech. You can improve upon it. It doesn't have to be non-coherent waves all throughout everybody's house. You got a modem in here, cell phones getting vector antennas pointed at everything. You are getting bathed in this stuff. It's distorting your mood is off. I got 4 really, but 3 main times a day I do my breath work every day. I eat 1 meal a day every day. There are things that you need to practice in discipline so that you can build up your technology, your body, your habits. It's actually fun to be 50 years old and to not be walking around with aches and pains and all kind of crazy shit going on. I feel good. Not waking up with stress and worry and all kind of shit. I see people losing their minds over illusions. All we're saying is, don't let this stuff get to you, bro. Get your mind right. I have nothing else to say for tonight. I just wanted to drop that. I've been on all week doing think tanks. I'm going to take me a little break. What's going on? There's all kind of stuff happening. Yeah. So we're done. I have nothing else to say. I hope this lecture gave you some insight into the fact that all this spooky shit that's out here that people are trying to get you involved in, the Kundalini gang. Like, motherfucker, your cerebral spinal fluid is wrapped in polyester, nigga. You ain't get no chakra activation with no damn polyester on, nigga. We're gonna make a new dance called the Kundalini. Do the Kundalini, y'all. What's the Kundalini? We gotta make a little dance. I don't know. I'm gonna come up with something crazy. You see how effective this shit can be, though? Oh, I got silk pajamas. Really? You got silk pajamas? That's cute. You can't even tell them it oscillates at 15 hertz and their body is at 75 hertz and they're getting drained down to a medium field in a 60 hertz field, 30 and 30. So now you down to 45 hertz by the time you wake up. I don't feel good. I'm tired. Yeah, you're tired. You're tired because you need to be in circles where people actually have these conversations so that you can really enlighten yourself. All right. I'm done. Love y'all. I'll see y'all this weekend. We out.